What does coffee, chrysanthemums, and Christ have in common? Let's find out today as we talk about making your hobby into your ministry. I'm Jonathan Yelland, and this is Finding the Point. Hi, it's great to have you guys here with us today. I'm Jonathan Yelland. With us, as always, is, of course, Pastor Aaron Munch. How are you doing, Pastor Aaron?
I'm doing great. Hey, what's with the coffee?
Well, this is a prop. Also, I drink it usually in the morning. But this is a prop to talk about my coffee. You see, it's this fantastically wonderful Guatemala blend that I got from Aldi's. It's brewed nicely in my espresso machine with a bunch of whole milk and a little bit of sugar. And it's, well,
Looks
it's
good.
okay. No, it's not. It's garbage. Aldi's is a great shop, but their coffee just doesn't cut it. But it makes a good prop because and it's drinkable. It's good. It's okay. But yeah, that's my segue into the example for today. We're talking about making your hobby into your ministry. And there was a time when I may or may not have really gotten into coffee and like trying to figure out all the best way. Like, first off, what all those strange coffee terms mean. By the way, Starbucks makes up most of them, and they aren't actually what they mean. But also, I really got into like how can I make the best possible cup of coffee. And then I got really into it, and my wife and I started drinking all these different things and trying it, making really good coffee. But then one day, our local Christian school where our daughter goes now, we just decided, you know what, let's take this coffee skill and coffee machines and abilities we have. Let's go do something nice for our teachers. And so we took the coffee machine into the church, into the school part of the church. Aaron, our church has a Christian school at the back part, and then like the auditorium like that in the front part. I think you know about that. So we set up in the back in the kitchen, and we started making coffee, and we just made pumpkins. It was like winter time, not winter, fall. And we did pumpkin spice lattes for all the teachers, made to order, just to their preference, with the right amount of sweeteners, and I did sugar free for the ones that couldn't. We really made it nice, and we made coffee for everybody because that's what I was into, and that's what I was kind of hyped about at the time. And I think that it was a blessing to all of those teachers who were working really hard, and they basically all of them. One of them didn't like coffee, and we made him a hot chocolate but with foamed milk, which I don't know if you've ever done that. But
no,
it's really good. It's way better than regular hot chocolate. Folks, go try this at home. Steam foam your milk like you would for an espresso, and put a hot chocolate packet in it. It will blow your mind. Okay, so I'm a little distracted here because this is something I like.
On point, John. On point.
But the idea that I want to bring out today for our show is that ministry isn't just that traditional. There's a traditional understanding that people have of ministry, I think, and a lot of times we see ministry is full-time Christian service, or working as a Sunday school teacher, working on the bus route, or like going to a Wednesday night or Thursday night soul winning program, and that's what ministry is. And all of those are ministry, of course, and they're really important, and everyone should be involved in those to the capacity that they're able to do. But it's an error, I think, to consider that as the only ministry that's possible to engage in.
I agree. And as a pastor, it might sound self-defeating as a pastor to say that, those aren't the things that you need to be solely focusing on for ministry. But the way I see it is the church needs to be reaching out and ministering to those in need, and ministering to others. And something that I've been thinking about lately is, people will come to a pastor and say, "Hey, pastor, the church should do such and such." And as a pastor, sometimes I want to say, you are the church. If you do it, then the church is reaching out.
Yeah, I think there's a sense in which just out of maybe habit or cultural historical practice, we limit our vision of what we can accomplish as members of the church and as a church body, and what a local church can do. I mean, the people in a local church can accomplish so much more than just having a service and singing songs and reading God's word. All of that's huge and super important, and
Oh
we
yeah.
absolutely have to do it. But we have the potential of using the skills and gifts that every single person in the entire congregation has to further the cause of Christ everywhere. It's not limited to that Sunday afternoon message and sing together, and then that was the purpose of ministry this week. Um,
And the problem with that thinking is that not everybody has those skill sets. And it limits ministry to something you do at church. But as a Christian, our life should be ministry. The Christian life is a life of ministry. And as I've heard another pastor say, ministry begins on Monday, meaning it's not just a Sunday church thing, it's a through the week, my whole life thing.
yeah, that's really good, and it's like you're the church even on Monday too. Like you said, we are the church, right? Like you're the church on Monday, just like you would be on Sunday. So,
The
uh,
problem is that I think too many people see ministry as doing teaching Sunday school or something like that in the church, and people say, I think
yeah,
there's a lot of people out there that say, "Hey, I want to minister, but I don't know what to do."
yeah, I think that you're exactly right. There is a sense in which some people are like the singer. Like I took a ton of voice lessons in college, so I can go and sing pretty much without you know spending a lot of effort in prep for that because I know how to sing. But that's not something that everybody can do. But there's things that I don't know that other people can do in ministry, and it goes beyond just that one service. So let me bring up your verse here, Pastor Aaron, and I'll let you go ahead and get on to that. This is 1 Peter 4:10. Go ahead.
So this is a verse that really changed my thinking and a number of people, and God has used this in my church. But the verse is 1 Peter 4:10, as every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. Now, too many people would say, as received the gift and link that to spiritual gifts. But in the context of the verse, it's not talking about spiritual gifts.
Okay, so not spiritual gifts. Then what does it mean by gift there?
All right, so bring the verse up again for us, and we'll take a look at that. So, as every man hath received the gift, so minister. So, the gift there is something that you have received as a gift from God. It's not just spiritual gifts, but you think about it. What has God given to us? He's given us the money that we have, the house that we have, the vehicle, different talents and skills and abilities, different interests. I'm one that I enjoy doing woodworking, but not everyone
Oh,
has that
yeah, you and our producer
ability.
too. Yeah, you guys just
Some people are very talented in the kitchen and catering, and
right.
some people are not. And some people are more talented playing the piano or singing as you or whatever it is. And I think sometimes we think, okay, so I need to, in order to minister, I have to get good at doing something so that I can minister. And the verse is saying, use the gifts that God has already given you and use those to minister to others.
Yeah, that seems huge. So what you're saying is that we can take pretty much whatever we have as a gift, not necessarily a spiritual gift, just like the things that are
But
available
something
to
that was
us.
given to us. Yeah.
Okay, so from God through the privilege of our birth, or from the experience we've had and the opportunities for school, or for just the time that we've been able to spend in learning something. And basically, let's sum it up. Anything can be used
Yeah.
as your
And
ministry.
maybe it's just something that you're interested in. Maybe you really like
Hmm.
working on cars, or you have a lot of car knowledge. I know people that have they like working on cars, and evangelist pulls in, and his front fender was dented from hitting a deer, and the man came up to the evangelist and said, "Can I have your car keys? Here's mine. I'm going to take your vehicle and I'm going to fix it."
Yeah, see, like that's incredible. Like, and that's so much a ministry and a help to that person. And that's what that guy knew. I love that. Hey, to make my intro make sense, with coffee, we already talked about chrysanthemums. I know you had a great story from your mom, and I hope I hope you don't mind if we share the story of Aaron's mom. But you want to share that story, because I just think it just warms my heart so much to hear that story about her and the flowers there. So go ahead with that if you don't mind, because I think it ties into this idea really well.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea is taking something that you like to do, that you enjoy, and using it to minister for God. And my mom is one that is a very artistic, went to school for art, and enjoys doing different things along those lines, and wanted to serve and wanted to minister, but wasn't sure how to do that. And I really needed somebody in the church that could decorate. We had someone that was doing it before, but due to health, she wasn't able to anymore. And so my mom really started taking that over, working with some of the decorations we have, putting together others. And it's become something that she just loves to do, but she's doing it to minister to others for God. And it's become something that has actually given her a lot of purpose. And I know I'm speaking a bit for her, but these are things my mom has shared.
Aaron's mom just reply in the comments and just confirm that everything he said was right. No, but that's so great. It's like someone's able to take a talent and skill that they have. Like, I don't know anything about flowers or art or like decorations.
Me neither.
Like it's not my area, and I couldn't do that for the church. But somebody who can do that, and it makes a huge difference, and it's ministry, and it's edifying to God and to others.
Yep. And so, I know others that enjoy making cards and doing crafts in that way, and so they've started making cards and giving them to people on their birthdays and anniversaries in the church and outside of the church even. Yeah.
So I really think from our verse there, the idea that we could use whatever gifts we have is really huge. So my hope here today, and I'll bring up my slide on the PowerPoint here to share, is to connect an understanding of the purpose of ministry so that to the hobby that we're trying to engage in ministry. So there's basically 4 different things that ministry is intending to accomplish, and some may focus on more segments of these 4 than others, but essentially ministry should do one of the 4 in some meaningful way. Either edify the saints, that's build up other Christians in the church. It should spread the gospel to those that have not heard it, or to encourage those who have heard it to accept Christ. It should advocate for righteous living. Here's how to live and act in accordance with God's will and word. And then it should support the work of the church, which is and like the example you gave with the man fixing the car, which is supporting the work of the church. So the framework that I think we want to sort of handle this issue with, and trying to find the point for ourselves, would be, look at what your hobby is. Like, what are you into right now? Now, I know you and our producer David are really into woodworking. I could care less about woodworking right now.
But it's something that for me, it gives me a lot of peace. It helps me clear my mind from all the things going on in the world. But I could make things and sell them and make some money, but I'm not really interested in that. And then it becomes a chore, something I have to do to fill the orders to make the money. But I prefer to make things that I give to someone. I find someone that, maybe has a need. I could build something for another person, or I just, I like doing a lot of wood burning and making signs and things. And so I enjoy being able to make things to give to others.
Yeah. And so you guys are into the woodworking. There's a lot of different things that I'm into at any given moment. Something I've been doing a lot of lately is painting miniatures for different games and board games and all that. I've been doing it a lot at work. That's probably why it's been pretty interesting to me. But I think we can take any of these hobbies and run them through that list. How can I use, say, woodworking to edify the saints? How could I use my woodworking to spread the gospel? How could I use it to advocate for righteous living? How could I use this in a way to support the work of the church? And then if we run it through that list and like, is there some way I could use what I have to accomplish God's purpose? I'm pretty confident that there's not any sort of hobby out there that you can't use that in some way. At least that's my contention. What do you think, Aaron?
I agree. I even things like maybe you like to play board games or some like video games or some people are movie buffs. Even those interests can be used in ministry. Now, how can I use being a movie buff, liking lots of different movies? How can I use that as a ministry? That's something that you can use to connect with others that have a similar interest. But maybe you can, I don't know, there's many different ways that you can use those kinds of things. Some of those, especially like board games, if you're like board games, you can have people over from the church or your neighbors over and, hey, let's play a game together.
Well, and I can go in on that one. I mean, I got really into different board games, and we have a local game store in our area. It's really nice, and I really like it. And hi to anybody from the shop who is watching the show. But I did join. It's not like a membership, but I did like start going to the game store and hanging out with the guys there for the purpose of enjoying the game and enjoying my hobby. But I also realize it's an opportunity to be an example to people from the world who would not otherwise see a Christian example. It gave me opportunities to witness and share and spread the truth of God's word and the gospel, and to encourage and edify some of the guys there who may have been already Christians, or do my best to do so. I'm certainly not an expert on it for sure. And while I'm there and enjoying those elements of my hobby that I enjoy, I'm also able to engage in those ministry in my hobby. And so I think that's just one way to do it. And I think we can pretty much do it with anything. Are you ready, Aaron? I've got it. I've got a whole list of them. You think you can come up with them?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right. Let me pull up the list. Now, sadly, I didn't get this prepped for on screen because I definitely just pulled this from a list of random different hobbies that came from somebody's online list. So I don't know the author or anything, but here we go. Number 1, watching TV shows and movies. I think you already covered that one. So
yep. So we're going to try to see how we can figure out if some of these hobbies will be a ministry.
No, Aaron, this is my game of Stump the Pastor.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to see if we can get one that you can't do. Okay, number 2 is reading. How'd you tackle reading to make?
Well, it all depends on what you're reading, but there's book clubs out there. Join a book club.
You took mine. I was going to say book club.
Join a book club and something you enjoy and talk with others, and it provides opportunities. It also will provide you with ammo for, maybe not ammo is the right word, but for something that you can use down the road to make a connection with somebody.
Oh yeah, that's true. I can't even tell you how many times, like, we played way too many computer games in college, as you may remember.
Too many.
But I can't even tell you how many times, like, the knowledge of all the weird computer game lore has let me, like, connect with somebody to talk to them.
Yeah.
And help.
I was able to make a connection with a bank teller and be able to give him the gospel because we were interested in the same books.
Yeah. So it totally makes sense. Here we go. For the sake of time, let's go a little faster. The next one is working out or exercising. How would you use that one? Because now, obviously, not for me or you. This isn't our favorite, but some of our friends, I'm sure, are interested in that.
Maybe if doing this with donuts.
Well, actually, I am working on on starting that for this year. I keep changing my hobbies all the time, and I'm gonna start doing some weightlifting for mine. We'll see if it works out. But yeah, how'd you do weightlifting or running or any other sort of exercise? How'd you handle that one?
Well, one way that comes to mind that I know I've seen others do is to teach others how to do those things. I was started working out with a guy that he knew a lot about that, and he was teaching me, and it was kind of we were discipling and iron sharpening iron with each other, and so you can do it in that way. I'm sure there's other ways that you could do that as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. The next one I have, and I think we have to do this quick, but we got about enough time to do two more. The next one, arts and crafts. We kind of touched on that, but if you want to hit it one more time real quick.
Well, I guess it depends on what kinds of things you like to do, but both honestly, really both my wife and I enjoy doing a lot of. I do woodworking, but there's crafts and things. But you can make vinyl is really popular these days. Doing things with that, or at least that's what my wife is into. But making cups and shirts and things, making cards that you give to people. I know someone that knits blankets and gives them to people in their church, like a lap blanket for some of the elderly, or for the young children, baby blankets, that kind of thing.
And tying it to the purpose of ministry, that's edifying the saints.
Yep.
And in some cases could be supporting the work of the church as well. The last one I have is probably too easy, but it is the one from the list, so you get it easy mode. The last one is do it yourself and like DIY.
Oh,
hobbies.
Sure. And that one is easy. You're able to build things or fix things, or for one thing, most churches need help. And our church was one. My dad has been, and others have used that gift to do things in the church, but go beyond the church. Maybe there's members in your church or outside of the church, neighbors, coworkers, someone that you could help them. You're good at fixing cars. Mm-hmm. So instead of charging them to fix their car, go fix their car as a ministry.
Yeah.
Maybe you can, do something in their house. There's a lot of people that don't really know how to do these things or don't have the time.
Pick me. Like, I have had a roof problem, but thankfully my friend in our church, Brad Bettner, who you may know from college, he came and helped me fix my roof because he's a professional roof guy and knows how to do it. And that was a ministry. Like, it's not even his hobby, it's like his job, but he knows how to do it, and he was able to come and help. Aaron, it does look like we're out of time, so sadly we do have to get going. Do you have time? We do have time, though, at least, for you to give us Pastor Aaron's final challenge. So head on over to your screen and share that with us, please.
So I would challenge you, if you're watching and listening to this, to pick one of your hobbies, something that you're interested in, figure out a way that you can use that to minister to someone else. Maybe it's just a way to make a connection with somebody. Maybe it's something that you can directly use to minister, to meet the needs of another. And you start doing that, and you might even find that it'll give you opportunities to give out tracts to somebody or to witness and give the gospel. But those are some ways that I think find something, a ministry, a hobby that you have, and make it a ministry.
Thank you, Aaron. Yeah, that would be great. And you know what? If you feel like you don't mind other people knowing it, it'd be great for you to share that with us in the comments. Also, our producers asked us to have anyone who's willing to please share our videos, because I guess that's the best way for us to get the word out. I don't really understand the analytics, but he's really good and says everybody should share the video, so please do that. We do want to say special thank you to Pastor Aaron and South Dakota. I almost said South Dakota Baptist Church, Aaron. I'm sorry. It's Huron Baptist Church in South Dakota.
It's actually Calvary Baptist Church in Huron, South Dakota.
I just get the whole Calvary Baptist. Let me try this again. Thank you, Calvary Baptist Church in Huron, South Dakota. And Pastor Aaron Mudge for sponsoring our show. Also, thank you to David Gentle, our producer. And you don't have to thank me. I'm here all day. Please share your comments and share this video. And I guess that's it. We'll see you guys next week. See you in 2 weeks. It's the Sunday night episode, I believe, is the next one that we're recording. So we'll see you guys then. Have a great time. And I think that's it. See you guys later.